I know we all are excited to set our 2025 goals. I am super excited already. Yeah, but I really think you should listen to this before setting your 2025 goals. Imagine the world richest man walking up to you today and asking you, "Oh, what's your name?" Okay, so I want to grant your 2025 goals and visions. What is it you want? And then he's giving you a blank check. What are you going to feel? Are you just going to stand up and tell him, "Oh, okay, my plans for the year is just 1 million naira, and then that's what I want to achieve in 2025"? Of course, he's going to grant it without any struggle, and then he will just move on. So, but 1 million naira, really? Is that what you're going to feel in the blank check given to you by the world richest man? Like, I don't know. My list is really going to be a whole lot. That brings me to the topic of today, to something I really want to stress on today. What if our biggest dreams are not big enough? What if our biggest dreams are too small? God does not think in terms of limitations. He thinks in terms of possibilities. So a lot of times when we set goals, when we make up our minds to actually sit down and set goals, we set goals limiting God without knowing. We set goals based on what our eyes can see rather than what God can actually do. Imagine someone who created the whole universe in 6 days, and you are putting a bill to his face and you are bringing a small bill. The book of Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, "He knows the thought he has towards us, the thought of good and not of evil, to give us an expected end." God has our best interests at heart, and then he wants to be a part of those dreams. He wants to be a part of those visions that you are writing down. So when next you want to go into that sitting position to write down those goals, you have to take God along with you. You have to think the way God thinks in terms of possibilities and not limitation. Imagine having the creator of the whole universe sitting down with you and you are planning together. Imagine how that plan will actually look like. When God is your dream partner, impossible becomes possible. Here are the things I want you to consider before going into that 2025 goal setting. Number one, God-sized dream requires God-sized faith. So God's size of dream requires God's size of faith. You need to look at your life currently now and then look at 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 5 years from now. Where do you want to be? You have to ask yourself, where do you want to be 5 years, 10 years, 7 years from now? And then you begin to start seeing in that light, because that's where God is actually viewing you from. That's the point where God is actually seeing you from. So you need to start seeing yourself in that light, and you need to start planning and dreaming towards that light, and then you start seeing yourself, you start seeing those dreams coming to pass, and then that is what will actually give you the mindset to plan big. That's what will actually give you the mindset to plan big, when you start seeing yourself in the light that God sees. Number two is dream big, plan smart, and trust hard. You have to trust God. You have to dream, plan smart. When God gives you a vision, he always wants to back up that vision. So if he tells you to dream big, he always wants to back you up. So your part is preparation and persistence. Let me just call it consistent. Yeah. So after you must have written down those goals, you have to be consistent with them. You have to be consistent with them. So you dream big, you plan, and then you trust God for it. You trust God for it. Number three, I would like to say is, there was this quote I heard I think sometime last year or early this year, if I'm not mistaken. Someone said that dream big and give God the bill. Oh my God, that stood so much with me. At some point, it just had to, it became my recitation. Delight, dream big and give God the bill. Yes. So what is stopping us most of the times is because we are using our small heads to calculate, how is this big dream of mine going to happen? How is this big dream of mine going to happen? So that's why a whole lot of times we just tend to cancel it out and never bother to dream big. And one thing about God is that God does not order a thing and he won't pay for it. You know, I've seen men that have worked with God and then they are living proof. God does not order a thing and then he will leave it halfway or he won't pay for it. So you have to dream big and then give the bills to God. You have to trust his timings. Yeah, you have to trust God's timing because God's timings are always the best. Yeah, so most times we just want to dream big and then go to bed and wake up the next morning and find out that all our requests, all our visions have been achieved. You know, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. God has timing. He works a whole lot with timings. There are men in the Bible that have, you know, gone through that route, and you discover that all of them, God had time. Asking yourself, how can this be? And rather just say it, with God all things are possible. Yes, replace what if I fail with what if I fly. Like, what if this my big dream actually comes to pass? This I'm not ready with, God has prepared me for this purpose. Your dreams are not too big. Possibly you're thinking it's too small. When you dream with God, you are not just dreaming, you are prophesying your future. So dream big, pray bigger, and expect God to do the miracle. The size of your dream determines the size of your faith. So dare to dream big. Dare to dream big. So I want to hear in the comment section, what are those difficulty you usually have when setting goals? Yeah, what are those limitations you usually have when setting your goals? I just want to know in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching. Please do well to hit the subscribe button, like, share to your friends and family so they can get to see this and learn from it as well.